Hello, so I just read the author's, well, not Immanuel Kant's, but the author's, Patricia Kitcher's preface in the book, The Critique of Pure Reason. I didn't know this book was like 1,000 pages long. I thought it was actually pretty short. I mean, this is a fucking project. If I read the preface, which was actually a very long preface, and they were describing what Kant had to say in the Critique of Pure Reason. This is a Critique of Pure Reason by Immanuel Kant. And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Because, I mean, I've been philosophizing, for a very long time now. And it's insane how I've come to some of the same conclusions that Kant has come to. Just from reading the preface, I like realized that like I've thought about a lot of the shit that he's thought about. And I also, as I was reading it, like doing my usual where I'll read it and at the same time I'll talk about it to myself and sort of criticize it with what I know, which is what Norism is for, which is my philosophy. And it's amazing how I sort of just figured out it's amazing how I figured out many of the things that he's already talking about in this book. And now if I read it, I'm certain I'll go through many realizations and read the whole book. It's from like the 1800s or something. And then it's amazing because just what he's considered are things that I've considered. It's crazy. Now I'm at the very start of the book. And also I want to show you this book. This is an Aristotle book because Lain Iwakura is Aristotle, so it's the Nicomachean Ethics. I don't know anything about it. I didn't read it yet. And there's tons of notes in it. Well, actually, there's some notes in this book. And I didn't read that yet. I mean, really, with philosophy, you're also philosophizing about books that aren't actually philosophical books. Like, according to my being Lain and whatnot, and being the Mexican black woman, my life is essentially the color purple, which is this book by Alice Walker, The Color Purple. So I was also philosophizing on this, and I'm on page 88. So what Lain does is she also associates herself with characters in literature and other forms of artwork. So the character I'm associated with in this book is Seely. So I'm actually Seely from this book. And it's also understood that Lain Iwakura was a Mexican black woman born in Mexico. And also, since she's Lain Iwakura, she's also Japanese and whatnot. And then there's also other things like I'm more not really considering what a normal person would do. A normal person would go through philosophical books as if they were on a flat plane and say, these are all the books on the floor, and I'm going to read each one of them and come to my own, and maybe come to my own conclusions, maybe if they're smart. But that's not really how I think. How I think is like I have certain books and philosophies which are a part of my lore, such as the Hegelian philosophy, is part of my lore since, according to my schizophrenia, George Hegel was my ex-husband. So I was considering Hegel for that reason, and it's not because these books are on the floor, but because these books are in the air as specific concepts in the air, like one, two, three. These are the three concepts I want to consider. So one of them is like all sorts of things that interest me. Like since I'm Japanese as Lain Iwakura, I wanted to know more about what is it called Shinto, the Japanese religion, which is why I like Toho because Toho is based on the Japanese religion, the Toho video game series by Zune. And I was also a gypsy and also like just like also like Chinese Confucianism is one of the things that one of these concepts in the air that I want to consider. And that's sort of how it works, where by considering these things and considering even complicated things like the Critique of Pure Reason by Immanuel Kant, you're cementing things into your mind so that you're aware of more deeply who you are, and also saying that I can critically analyze through Norism the book Immanuel Kant's The Critique of Pure Reason, as I view it as the shoreline of Mexico through the Hegelian philosophy. And the shoreline of Mexico is what I'm going through every single day, where once the moon goes out, my mind is more vivid and my logic is always perfect. And even though I'm Seelie, then there's nothing that can be wrong with me. And also, I was raped 40 times, and that's another part of the reason that I'm the color purple. So this is really brilliant, and that's what I'm supposed to be writing about in my book, Kami-sama's Philosophy. But I feel like I have to take a break and just read a while, and I'm actually receiving more books in the mail right now.